Maths Mafia. Oh, Maths Mafia. Morning, morning, morning. Oh, bear with me, just getting up, getting rocking and getting a little video done this morning because I wanted to do a little Where Are They Now in relation to the Married at First Sight UK 2022. And then I've actually made a decision last night on the next reality show that I'll be reviewing. So I want to share that with you as well. But now I get to say, Adam Light, Married at First Sight. Oh, what a delight. What a delight. With a flame, ignite, and let's get into it. Anyway, first up, let's go in with Thomas. Let's go in, bless him. He's made some enemies. May surprise you, may not. The enemies he's made is with things that he said. May surprise you, may not. He's had to come out and apologise profusely. I can never say that word, about regrets and things that he said. And again, that may surprise you, it may not. I'm a big fan of Tom, always have been. And all I can explain is that he's come out, he's doing quite well, really. He's very active on socials, but he's really highlighting on a podcast recently that all the things with April, how that was portrayed, and maybe went in a bit hard. But then some comments came up about Jenna's dad, who passed away and couldn't come to the wedding, and making some kind of sly comments apparently there, which would never be okay, and never is okay. I think sometimes all of us find ourselves in a position where, and if you're lucky, you haven't had this, great, but I don't know, you've been accepted by the bigger boys or the successful guys and girls, or the super girl team, the mean girl team, which you don't want to be in that team, the April Whitney team. But you've wanted to be almost given an opportunity for a while, and in that 30-second moment, you become this mad, exaggerated version of yourself because you feel unnatural. It's almost, you realise the gravitas in the fact that you've wanted something for a while, and now here's the opportunity. And like I said, at that point, it's easily done for all of us, and I felt like that's what I saw with the little clips I saw of the podcast footage. He was just being accepted by the cool lads, and he was like, oh my gosh, and started letting his mouth run. Adrian, doing well. He seems to be getting a little bit more singing, cracking on, so he's doing a little bit more in the way of show tunes, so I think we might see him, not necessarily West End based, but I think we could see him doing some pantos all over the shop over the years, I'm sure. And he does a lot of these dress clothes things where he does like reels that are him getting dressed in different things. I don't know about you, I hated the way Adrian dressed. Like, I hated, no I didn't. But if someone turned up to my wedding in little white shoes and like white socks with like jack-up trousers on, I'd have been done from there. There was a couple of things I'm like, mate, they are brilliant. A couple of the jackets he had, I'm like, mate, they are brilliant. But then again, if I can't, I can't say that about Adrian and then give a thumbs up to Thomas, because bless him, I loved him, but my gosh, I'd have to be like, put a pair of jeans on, mate. Put a pair of jeans on, mate. Anyway, morning. Let's keep cracking on. Jenna and Zoe still seem to be going strong. It doesn't look like they see as much of each other as I personally would like. But it's for what I feel would be a successful relationship. But I think I'm biased here because I almost felt I've got my predictions all wrong here. So wrong. I think halfway through I predicted there was going to be some explosions for Jenna and Zoe. And I felt that there was going to be some tough challenges. And that they were going to separate, and then they got to friends with benefit. And actually, they're probably the strongest couple. I mean, they're the only ones still together now. Definitely the longest. So it's just impressive. It was really, really impressive. For people like Shanita, Sophie, Whitney, and April, they're doing a lot of these award shows, it seems. So they're constantly off at these little, I don't know, some random 3 letters awards, and there they are getting all glammed up and trying to get pictures in local TV magazines and stuff. So yeah, good luck to them. I think they're using their profile. There was a couple there that, as you might remember, I called out for their main intention being Instagram. And let's just say 3 of those names look very natural in those scenarios. And you can see that one feels like maybe Shanita. It feels like she's going with the flow a little bit. She thought she'd be with Jordan, but she's now having to use option B, I think, where the other 3, I was like, they're living a lot, because this is option A. This is all they wanted to be doing. So it was important for them all to share a Halloween thing. It was important for them all to just try and get somewhere and get some photos taken. So yeah, I still had question marks, as all you guys know. So I think towards the end I'd softened a little bit on a couple of those names and been like, oh, bless them. But as it's come out the other side, I can't help but feel like it was for Instagram that they've joined this show. And if they got the man of their dreams who ticked every box and then some, then okay. But other than that, they were out. Jonathan always just trying to share gym stuff, and yeah, seems to be trying to go back to normal life and show, I'm a normal, nice guy. We know better than that. Keisha and Kwame. Keisha, clothing lines. She seems to be doing, again, looking like she's about to do some exclusive deals with some people. So that looks really, really good. And that's been in the works, I think, for quite a while, from like the middle of the season. And rightfully so. Kwame, entrepreneurial, was always going to get back to work, podcasting, out asking questions in public of people to do with love and relationships, but also released a music video recently. Saw some footage of him on stage as well, doing his thing. So always like Kwame. Was always with a lean. Always like Kwame. And I think he didn't come out smelling the roses as much as he tried to. However, he's making use of this situation clearly as well. May as well, I guess. May as well. I didn't get married. May as well see what the other options are. For Whitney and Duca, Whitney's, I guess, become a little bit upset or making some digs Matt's way. But karma, I think people forget that exists. As much as you might go, oh, I feel for it now. Yeah, that doesn't debunk karma. That's no like black magic flipping, no back chat, spinning Pokemon Go card that you can throw down. No, it doesn't work that way. Like, sorry, karma, don't listen to us. So I feel absolutely, if anything, I wouldn't say nothing. I feel a tiny bit. I wouldn't want too much. I'm never going to relish in someone else's bad times, but good. And then I move on. What I like about Whitney, she's gone quiet. She has actually gone quiet, so fair play. I'm impressed the fact that she's not just trying to continue that Katie Hopkins blueprint to fame, but I just think it's because no one's interested, which is absolutely fair. Neither were we, let's be honest. Duca trying these little positivity things, which is sweet. PJ and Jess all gone back to normal work. Same as Richie and Lara, apart from Richie, I think, was promoting a song throughout the process, and afterwards Lara's back, Burger Five Guys, holding it down, and they're doing some little bits in relation to a podcast, I think, and doing maths behind the scenes kind of things. And finally, let's talk April and George. Well, April, we've talked about. George is doing a reveal, which I might do a video on. So again, I'll be interested to speak to him. Let's just say if there was a guy to message me at 3 o'clock in the morning, it might have been George. Can't remember. I think it might have been. But I do genuinely want to know the truth behind that and the facts behind everything, because I think that's something that was particularly sensitive. And when we talk about real, that's real. So that's, in this reality show, that's the most real thing that's come out of it, other than block attack. But yeah, but beautiful. Guys, thank you so much, by the way, for sticking with me before I go into the final person. We have built up a beautiful little community. Next, I'm going to do 90 Day Fiance. So I've already thought of it. Adam Light is now in El Francais. Come with me, we watch 90 Day Fiance, bam, there's not much that's going to rhyme with Fiance. So I'm going to have to maybe just write something down like Eminem in the bus on 8 Mile, like But yeah, have fun with me on that one. I watched 2 episodes, it was ridiculous. It's better than maths. There's no way it's not better than maths. It's more real already. I found myself screaming at the telly, so yeah, I'm going to try and get that first few things out this week. There might be about 10 episodes out today because I want to binge it. So as soon as I finish work, I am binging. Talking about work, need to get started. So, Adam Light, Married at First Sight. Let's finish up with Matt. Well done again. We all called it, guys. We all called it. Narcissistic tendencies, narcissistic behaviour. We don't know him, and I think we have to be reasonable on that there might be an absolute, completely different side. But all I'm going to say is that from what we've seen, the edit's been kind to him. So we've got to remember that there's been a lot of feedback about, and this is paper-based, this is out there where it's going. If there was things that would cut out, it was with him. Aggressive behaviour, which, that's anything to do with narcissism again? Throwing out a little bit of an aggression, unprompted, just to, again, and we saw it. I've got a big red flag here. Let me just wave it for the rest of the thing. So again, girls, this is the reality. You'll go for whatever guy, surely, because sometimes you get blinded by the beauty, but you can't forget this thing. See this thing I've got in my hand? See this big thing? This big massive red flag? I don't care. Sometimes the red flag in itself is like, how come it's like he wants to move in so quick? How come he wants to go away so quick? How come he's professing everything I've ever heard so quick, when the reality is he don't know me and I don't know him? Don't let Disney make you believe that some guy's going to fall in love at first sight. He may be besotted and obsessed at first sight, which is brilliant, and he probably is a solid foundation, as long as it doesn't mean that it forces him into lying and deceit. But if a guy he needs something from you, sorry, not sorry, I'm hopefully saving you. What's this? Hiya! It's not the sword of King Arthur. I wish I could give it you. It's a red flag, guys. And again, bless Matt. He's gone from having a marriage, leaving that partner, and then telling her he loved her in a week and a half, 6 days, stolen her from someone else without any apologies and without managing the situation, for me, like a man should. It's a shame, because again, he just didn't own it. He made excuses for it, and then next thing, what happens? He just dumps her off. Of course he does. And then he's off with a contestant from last year. The less I say on that, the better. Adam Light, Married at First Sight. Hope you really enjoyed this season. Don't see you on 90 Day Fiance, and there's little stories of not my personal stories, but we can check them out. Also, I'm happy as hell where we get into personal situations your friends, families are going through. Connect with me on Instagram, because I think you can DM me there. I don't think you can DM me on YouTube, but if you can, get over some personal situations. Let's break them down. If you find some mad stories on the internet that you're just going, that just blew my mind, send them over, because I find them A, interesting, and B, I'd like to share versions of these things, and what we can all learn from it. That's such a key thing for me. It's just a big, absolute massive amount of love back for you guys. I've had loads of opportunities to rapidly grow this, like trying to get a few of these maths guys involved. Let me know if that's something that you guys really want. I personally don't think we should. I don't think there's much now that we could. I mean, there was a thought in relation to some bits I do around helping people if they want to get onto reality shows and giving them some warnings, which might be helpful with those guys, but I'll do that myself. But if there's anything you want to know, please let me know. And I'll hopefully see you on 90 Day Fiance. Bilal and Shahia, I think it was, or somebody. So if you know those names, please get stuck with it, because that... I'm shouting at the TV like, you idiot. Don't test. Why are you testing like that? Anyway, Adam Light, Married at First Sight, or Adam Light, El France, 90 Day Fiance. Can't wait to see you again, guys.